Discover the incredible, life-changing secrets to burning 500 hidden calories instantly. In the heart of Maplewood, Jamie stared at the flyer plastered on the community board outside the local grocery store. Discover the incredible, life-changing secrets to burning 500 hidden calories instantly, it screamed in bold, colorful letters. For a split second, Jamie felt a surge of hope. Could this be the key to transforming her life? Just 2 years ago, she was a nurse with dreams as vivid as her ambitions. But since the divorce, those dreams slipped through her fingers like autumn leaves, leaving her tangled in debt and loneliness. Lucy, her spirited 11-year-old, darted around the park, laughter ringing like music, blissfully unaware of the weight on her mother's shoulders. Jamie watched other parents engaging effortlessly, their lives seemingly candlelit compared to her dimly flickering flame. A bitter taste of inadequacy filled her mouth. Each time she tossed another bill into the pile, shame washed over her. She yearned for stability, for the kind of connection that felt within reach for others but like a distant star for her. With a heart pounding for change, Jamie approached Tom, her ex-military neighbor whose presence was both daunting and comforting. "I hear you can help me," she said, her voice wavering slightly. Tom nodded, offering a reassuring smile that belied the shadows of his own past. They agreed to embark on this journey together, blending moxie and grit in a town that seemed to judge every misstep. As they dove into their challenge, whispers from their neighbors grazed their ears like biting winter winds. What are they thinking? Do they really think they can change? The hushed comments stung, cutting deeper than any physical exertion they endured that day. Jamie's insecurities crept in like a dark cloud, shadowing her aspirations. She felt that familiar tight chest, the lump forming in her throat. Yet, Tom's steadfast presence reminded her that she wasn't alone in this battle. Days turned into weeks as they slogged through the routines of secret calorie burning together. An unexpected confrontation arose at one of the community gatherings, where a friend's insinuation sliced through Jamie's fragile confidence. "You're taking this too far, don't you think?" The words hung heavy in the air, soaked with judgment. Jamie trembled but stood her ground. Tom gripped her arm, a silent vow of solidarity. Just as Jamie began to feel the tides of change washing over her, an unforeseen setback emerged. Lucy fell ill, and the mounting doctor bills loomed like menacing clouds. The flicker of hope she nurtured began to dim once again, the burdens she bore threatening to drown her. Standing at a crossroads, Jamie found herself questioning not just the secret of hidden calories, but the hidden sentiments surrounding her. Should she bend to the beliefs of a divided community or rise above and redefine what acceptance meant? As the charity event drew closer, the air thickened with anticipation and doubt. Jamie felt the whisper of transformation, but with uncertainty flickering in her chest, it all hung in the balance. Would she discover the strength to reshape her story, mend the fissures within her soul, and find the camaraderie she craved? And as dawn revealed the day of the event, the answer danced just beyond her reach, igniting a promise of hope that lingered tenderly, urging her to embrace the challenges ahead. The day of the charity event dawned bright but crisp, a stark contrast to the storm of emotions brewing within Jamie. She stood in front of the mirror, adjusting her outfit, a simple yet hopeful combination of a faded blue dress and a pair of well-loved sneakers. Her reflection stared back, a blend of anxiety and determination. Tomorrow, she would be on stage. The thought sent her stomach churning. As they loaded Lucy into the car, Jamie glanced at her daughter, whose cheeks were still flushed with the remnants of a slight fever. "You sure you want to come, sweetie?" she asked, a pinch of concern curling around her words. Lucy nodded enthusiastically, her spirit unbroken despite the illness. "I want to cheer you on, Mom," she chimed, her voice pure sunshine. With Lucy nestled into her booster seat, Jamie drove towards the community center, heart racing. The route felt agonizingly long, punctuated by the mounting pressure of what lay ahead. What if she stumbled? What if her voice shook? The whispers of doubt clawed at her mind, yet a quiet voice nudged her forward. This was about more than just her. It was about Lucy and reclaiming their lives together. Arriving at the center, the familiar buzz of chatter surrounded her. Families mingled, laughter echoing off the walls, while vendors set up their booths. She fumbled for confidence in her pocket, but the nerves twisted tighter. Tom spotted her, a reassuring grin breaking through the crowd. "You've got this, Jamie. Remember, you're not alone," he said simply, the weight of his words falling warm on her shoulders. As the event kicked off, Jamie found herself standing behind the microphone, a sea of faces before her. Heart thumping, she took a breath, letting the warmth of the bright stage lights wash over her. For a moment, all she saw was Lucy's encouraging smile. She opened her mouth, her voice gaining strength with every word. "I know what it's like to feel lost," she began, pouring out her truth. The energy shifted, people leaning in as though tethered by shared struggles. But as she wove through her feelings of vulnerability, Jamie's gaze wandered, catching whispers and sidelong glances among the crowd. The judgment she had felt before seeped back in, the fear of acceptance rising like bile in her throat. And just like that, she felt a flicker of hesitation. But the echo of Lucy's laughter reminded her of why she was doing this at all. With renewed vigor, she pushed through, channeling the hurt into empowerment. As her speech reached its crescendo, she noticed a shift in her audience. A few heads nodded in solidarity. Some faces softened, a few even reached for each other's hands. In those moments, Jamie realized she was creating a bridge not just for herself but for anyone who had ever felt the shadows of isolation over them. We can all burn those hidden calories together, but first, we need to burn away our fears. Thunderous applause erupted as she stepped down. The applause felt like a warm embrace, wrapping around her like a promise. Yet even in that moment of triumph, doubt lurked in the backdrop, a reminder that it wasn't over yet. As Lucy rushed into her arms, the fleeting sense of victory clashed with the ever-present reality. The fundraising goal loomed ahead, and the brewing storm of uncertainty swirled in her stomach once more. Was that really enough? Later, as the evening wrapped up and community members mingled, Jamie's heart raced for a different reason. She spotted the man from the flyers, a radiant enthusiasm about him. He was making his way toward her, a paper in hand. "I couldn't help but overhear your speech. You have something special, Jamie. Would you be interested in trying something even bigger?" Her mind whirled with possibilities. What did he mean? What if this was the opportunity for growth she longed for? With adrenaline thrumming in her veins, she met his gaze. "What are you talking about?" As excitement danced in the air, Jamie couldn't shake the feeling that this was a turning point, maybe even the chance to change everything. The night was still young. And the future shimmered ahead, full of uncharted paths waiting to be explored. What lay beyond this moment? The next chapter beckoned, and Jamie felt her heart thump with anticipation. Jamie's breath caught in her throat as the man stepped closer, his presence radiating a confidence that was contagious. She looked down at the paper in his hand. It was a vibrant flyer that boldly announced a new fitness initiative designed to empower people to reclaim their health and well-being. "We're launching a community challenge," he said, his voice steady and inviting. "The goal is to help families reconnect through fitness while promoting mental wellness. What you did tonight is exactly the kind of inspiration we need." Her heart raced at the thought of being involved. This was everything she had ever wanted, a way to uplift herself and others who struggled with the same demons. "And you think I could be a part of this?" she asked, the disbelief mingling with hope, making her words tremble. "Absolutely. We want representatives who can share their stories and connect with participants on a deeper level." "You have that spark," he replied, waving the flyer gently. "Imagine being able to inspire change, to help others find their way just like you have." As he laid out the details, Jamie felt the weight of her world shift ever so slightly. He spoke of workshops, community engagements, and fitness challenges that weren't just about losing weight, but about finding joy again. Jamie's mind raced through the implications. It was more than just fitness. It was a chance for her, and for Lucy. A father could benefit from this just as much as a mother. This was about rewriting stories, piece by piece, in a world that so often pushed people aside. "But I'm still figuring everything out myself," she responded softly, her thoughts racing to the lingering doubts, the moments where she still felt lost. "What if I can't keep up? What if I fail?" "Failure?" He chuckled lightly. It's not about perfection. It's about the journey. You'll be part of something bigger. You'll have support. Everyone struggles, but sharing those struggles is what makes us stronger together. Lucy tugged at the hem of Jamie's dress, her eyes wide with excitement. Mom, do it. We can do it together. Her voice bubbled with an infectious enthusiasm, completely unfiltered by the doubts swirling around her mother. In that moment, Jamie could see the world through Lucy's eyes full of adventure and possibility. The man smiled, sensing the shift in her demeanor. You already inspired so many tonight. Think about how many more you could inspire. Plus, it could be a great way for you and Lucy to bond and connect with other families. Jamie glanced at Lucy, her heart swelling with overwhelming pride. Maybe this was the nudge she needed. Maybe this could be the beginning of something that would not only help her heal but also open doors for others to do the same. And if I take this leap, what happens next? Jamie ventured, a cautious excitement beginning to edge out her fears. He leaned in, his eyes gleaming with passion. We'll review your ideas, brainstorm programs, and get you set up as a lead voice for our initiative. Your story could reach countless families, showing them they are not alone. Suddenly, a swell of determination filled her chest, pushing aside the doubts that had hunted her. Just like on stage, she felt that familiar spark igniting in her veins. With a steadying breath, she nodded. Okay, I'll do it. Let us change lives together. As they began discussing next steps, Jamie couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. The possibilities unfurled ahead like a canvas waiting for bright new strokes. But then, a familiar face emerged from the crowd, someone she hadn't expected to see, the man who had once judged her, who had turned his back on her in moments when she needed acceptance the most. He was watching her closely, a flicker of surprise etched on his features. With a tight knot forming in her stomach, she questioned everything she had just felt. What would this mean for her newfound commitment? Would she have the strength to face the judgment again? The night was far from over, and uncertainty hung in the air, clamoring for her attention. What shadows could threaten her new light? Jamie's heart sank as she locked eyes with the man who had once cast shadows over her self-worth. It was Ethan, a figure from her past who embodied all the moments of doubt and hurt she thought she had buried. His piercing gaze felt heavy, a reminder of the criticisms that had haunted her during her darkest days. She quickly turned her attention back to the man with the flyer, who was still detailing the initiative, his excitement unwavering. But the moment was tainted. Though Jamie shared a hopeful plan for the future, the past was creeping in like a dense fog. She could see Lucy blissfully unaware, oblivious to the weight of Jamie's history, hugging her stuffed unicorn and listening with wide-eyed wonder. The contrast between her daughter's innocence and her own frayed memories felt stark. Jamie? Ethan stepped forward, breaking the bubble she had almost forgotten about. His voice was tentative, almost pleading. I didn't expect to see you here. Ethan. The words slipped out, charged with an array of emotions she couldn't quite manage. What are you doing here? I'm involved in this initiative too. I work with the health trainers, he said, shrugging somewhat awkwardly. I guess I didn't realize you were interested in something like this. His casual tone struck her as more patronizing than genuine, triggering a wave of frustration. Here he was, the man who had dismissed her struggle all those years ago, now acting as though they were just old acquaintances catching up. The truth was, he had barely known her back then, and here he was, venturing into her newfound ambitions. Just a participant, she replied, trying to keep her voice steady. Yet, every syllable felt edged with defensiveness. Things have changed since we last saw each other. He glanced at Lucy, and a hint of surprise flickered across his face. I can see that. She's adorable, Jamie. Thanks, Jamie muttered, shifting her gaze away from that penetrating stare. She focused on the enthusiastic crowd around her, hoping to drown out the coils of tension curling inside her. Realizing she could not process this unwelcome encounter in front of everyone, she felt the need to take a step back. She leaned slightly towards the man holding the flyer, as if creating a buffer between herself and Ethan. So, what's next for this challenge? she asked, intentionally diverting the conversation. He laid out more plans with enthusiasm, but Jamie's mind was only half listening. The environment felt charged with an electric intimacy she had longed for, yet the presence of Ethan tightened an internal battle within her. She could feel the fear trying to edge its way back in. Would he judge her motives? Would he assume she was simply seeking validation in the same way she had before? Suddenly, she felt Lucy's small hand grasp hers, grounding her. "Mom, can you tell Daddy about this too?" Her innocent suggestion painted Jamie's heart with warmth. "Of course, honey," Jamie replied softly, even as doubt lingered. "I'm sure he'd be excited about this." Ethan's presence loomed ever more prominent. She could sense he was wrestling with some feelings of his own. But the warmth of Lucy's hand gave Jamie renewed strength, igniting something she hadn't felt in years. Was she ready to face both Ethan and her insecurities? Was she ready to step into the spotlight without crumbling under it? Just then, Lucy bounced on her toes and exclaimed, "We should show everyone those cool workout moves you taught me." The room filled with light laughter, stirring something deep within Jamie. But just as hope swelled, Jamie felt the gaze shift. Someone in the crowd, one who she recognized and who recognized her, had started to approach. Another reminder of her past. The knot in her stomach tightened. What was she getting herself into? Would everyone who had ever doubted her chip away at the confidence she was trying so hard to build? Now, the question loomed larger than ever. Could Jamie conquer both her fears and the reminders of who she once was? The answer hung just out of reach as she faced the approaching figure. Jamie's breath caught in her throat as the figure drew closer. It was Clara, her former friend, a woman who once stood by her through thick and thin, but who had also been an unwitting bystander to her struggles. Clara's bright smile wavered upon meeting Jamie's eyes, and Jamie felt a rush of mixed emotions boiling beneath the surface. "Hey, Jamie." Clara waved as if any tension could simply evaporate with a cheerful greeting. "I heard about this event and thought it'd be a fun thing to do together." Her enthusiasm felt forced, and Jamie could sense there was more behind her sunny demeanor. "Yeah, it's fun, definitely," Jamie replied, the knot in her stomach twisting tighter. She glanced at Ethan, who was watching them with a look she couldn't quite decipher. Was it sympathy, concern, or amusement? Lucy, oblivious to the undercurrents, tugged at Jamie's sleeve, beaming her innocence. "Mommy, can we show Clara our moves too?" Sure, honey," Jamie said, attempting to absorb Lucy's enthusiasm. "You and I can do that in just a bit." Clara's smile brightened, her eyes darting from Jamie to Lucy. "Wow, you've really turned things around since I last saw you." "It's great. All the exercise and healthy choices. You look amazing." "Thanks," Jamie murmured, the flattery feeling like a tightrope walk. Too much praise could topple her precarious balance of emotions. "Life's been interesting." "Interesting? That's one way to put it." Clara chuckled lightly, but the edge in her tone didn't escape Jamie's notice. Then Clara leaned in closer, lowering her voice just enough to surge the tension. "Listen, I know Ethan can be a bit much sometimes. Just ignore him, okay?" "Ethan?" Jamie echoed, surprised that Clara could mention his name so casually. "How do you know him?" Clara glanced at Ethan and then back at Jamie, her expression shifting. "Oh, we dated briefly. Nothing serious, but you know how he can sometimes be very driven, always the leader." Clara's eyes held a glint Jamie couldn't shake off. "Right," Jamie said, employing her best poker face. Suddenly, the energy around them felt oppressive, carrying a weight that reflected their twisted history. "Let us focus on you," Clara said, stepping back and redirecting the energy. "How about we grab some snacks? I want to hear all about your journey. I mean, really hear about it this time." Clara's friendliness felt desperate, as if she too was grappling with scattered pieces of their shared past. As they turned away to find the food table, Jamie's mind raced. She could feel Ethan's eyes burrowing into her back, and with every step, Jamie was trying to shake off the shadows of disbelief that haunted her thoughts. The table was lined with clear containers filled with colorful veggies and healthy dips. It was almost as though the vibrant spread stood as a metaphor for Jamie's life, fresh, varied, with some parts still uncertain. Isn't this amazing? Lucy squealed, grabbing a carrot stick. We can be really healthy, right, Mommy? Absolutely, sweetie, Jamie replied, her heart warming at Lucy's excitement. Yet her gaze lingered on Ethan and Clara, who were now engaged in a conversation of their own. She could see hints of shared jokes and glances that made her heart race, not out of joy but concern. Was she really ready to expose herself to this tumult once more? Uh-oh, Clara's voice suddenly pierced through Jamie's swirling thoughts. Looks like someone's about to make a scene. Jamie turned just in time to see Ethan's expression shift, confusion furrowing his brow as someone nearby shouted his name. Before she could comprehend, a voice rang out through the crowd, and the air felt expectant once more. What was waiting for her at this gathering? Would the past crash into the present, or could Jamie finally step into the role she had fought so hard to create? The moment felt electric, the tension hanging thick. She was at a crossroads between who she once was and who she wanted to become. But before she could lean into her determination, she felt another presence nearby, this one full of nostalgia and uncertainty. Could Jamie truly embrace her future if shadows of her past kept resurfacing? Jamie felt a surge of warmth and dread all at once. The voice calling Ethan's name was familiar, echoing through her memories like an old song she couldn't shake. It didn't take long for the crowd to part, revealing a tall man with sandy hair and a confident smile. Noah. Her heart raced not with joy, but with the sudden influx of old feelings that threatened to boil over. Ethan. There you are. Noah's voice rang out, jovial and loud, cutting through the conversations around them. He swaggered over, throwing an arm around Ethan's shoulder, completely unaware of the tension that was spiraling into the air. Hey, man. I didn't know you'd be here. Ethan waved back, clearly pleased to see his friend. But Jamie could only stand there, rooted in place, her insides twisting tighter with each passing moment. Thought I'd drop by, naturally, Noah grinned, glancing around as if searching for something more exciting. You still doing that fitness gig? I see you everywhere on social media, almost like a celebrity. Ethan chuckled, but Jamie felt like a shadow in her own life. Each compliment felt like a spotlight not cast in her direction. She had fought hard to reclaim her identity, but standing there with Clara and now Noah brought back all the insecurities she thought she had buried. Yeah, that's just what I'm doing. Just focusing on it, Ethan replied, still caught up in Noah's exuberance. Clara's voice cut in, shaky yet determined. Jamie has been doing incredibly well, she said, nudging closer to Jamie. She's really taken control of her life. Jamie met Clara's eye, unsure what to feel, gratitude or irritation. Did Clara think this was helpful? Did any of them realize how delicate she still felt? Oh yeah? That's awesome. Noah turned to Jamie, a genuine spark in his expression. I remember how committed you always were to health. It's cool to see that you're back on track. You look different, kind of glowing. Different. It was a word used too often and too easily, a reminder that no matter how much she had transformed, the past always lurked nearby, haunting her with whispers of how much she struggled. Lucy wandered back, carrot stick still in hand. Mommy, are you okay? You look funny. She peered up at Jamie with wide, innocent eyes. At that moment, Jamie felt the weight of responsibility settle over her. It wasn't just about her anymore, it was about Lucy and the example she was setting. Yeah, sweetie, I'm okay, Jamie replied, forcing a smile. Just a lot happening right now. Do you want to show Clara and Noah the new moves we learned? Lucy proposed, her little face lighting up with excitement. Caught off guard by the suggestion, Jamie's heart swelled and sank at the same time. This was her moment, a chance to take the reins again, to show everyone, including herself, the strength she had fought so hard to gain. Sure. Jamie clapped her hands together, trying to shake off the remnants of doubt. Let us show them how it's done. As they moved toward an open space, Jamie took a deep breath, summoning the joy that had led her on this journey. The music started again, pumping life into the atmosphere, and with it, she felt a wave of determination wash over her. But just as Jamie was about to lead Lucy in their routine, she spotted Clara chatting away with Noah, laughter spilling between them like water. The sight stung, igniting jealousy she thought she had buried. Had things really changed? With a forced smile, she focused on Lucy. Ready to dance, sweetie? Yes. Lucy cheered, oblivious to the storm swirling inside Jamie. Yet in the corner of her eye, Jamie saw Clara glance over. In that fleeting moment, fears resurfaced. She realized she was still tangled in this web of emotions, a past unresolved, a future uncertain. What happened when the curtain of comfort fell? Could Jamie truly lay her ghosts to rest, or would they continue to haunt her all night? As the music pulsed around them, Jamie couldn't help but wonder, would this be the moment when she embraced her strength, or would the shadows find her once more when she least expected it? Jamie felt the beat of the music vibrating through the ground, and for a brief moment, it pushed back the doubts swirling in her mind. She watched Lucy jump excitedly, her tiny body bouncing to the rhythm like a bright spark of joy. That innocence grounded Jamie and filled her with a purpose beyond her insecurities. "Okay, let us do this," Jamie said, nudging Lucy gently into the center of the open space. The energy around them filled her chest with hope as she took her position beside her daughter. She could almost forget the laughter that rang out like discord behind her. "Watch me," Lucy called out, her voice ringing with excitement. Wasting no time, she twirled across the floor, mimicking the energetic moves they had practiced together at home. Jamie joined in, her initial fear melting away like ice under the sun. She moved to the rhythm, feeling the warmth of the crowd's gaze shift toward them. This was her moment, fierce and bright, the spark igniting her spirit. They danced together, laughter and applause blending into their melody. Each spin and step renewed her confidence, and Jamie could see the glimmer of pride in Lucy's eyes. For a moment, nothing else mattered in this small world they created, they were unstoppable. As Lucy ended their little routine with a dramatic flourish, the crowd erupted into cheers. Jamie's heart swelled, a sweet mixture of pride and relief washing over her like a warm summer breeze. But as she paused and caught her breath, she looked over at Clara and Noah, still lost in their own joyful world. "Was that good, Mommy?" Lucy's small face was lit with joy, her trust in Jamie unwavering. "You were incredible," Jamie replied, leaning down to envelop her daughter in a warm hug. The moment was perfect, their bond stronger than ever. But before she could celebrate, a familiar voice broke through again. "Wow, Lucy. You were amazing. You take after your mom." Noah's words pierced through the happy bubble, but Jamie didn't turn around. She felt the prick of jealousy rising inside her again. Why was it so hard to let go? "Thanks, I practiced with her a lot," Jamie called out, keeping her tone cheerful but distant. Yet inside, that shadow crept closer, whispering doubts she wished she could silence. Clara approached, a broad smile playing on her lips. "You two were really something. Jamie, you should teach a class. Or a masterclass on fitness." Noah chimed in, his focus still on Jamie. It felt as though the past and present were colliding uncomfortably, a reminder of who she used to be, wrapped in the sweetness of who she was now. "Maybe," Jamie murmured, trying to swallow the knot forming in her throat. The idea bubbled within her, but insecurity clawed at her, whispering she wasn't enough. "That sounds awesome, Mommy," Lucy exclaimed, her eyes gleaming. "You should do it." The innocence of her daughter lit a small fire of determination. Jamie glanced over at Noah and Clara again, the playful banter between them grating her. She could feel them edging into her territory, tainting her moment of triumph. But in that instant, something within her stirred. The pain and jealousy, all the past hurts began to clash with the pride she had in her life now. Could she truly embrace the strength she felt blooming inside her? Or would she let the whispers of self-doubt drown it out? With a final, deep breath, Jamie made a decision. "I think I just might." she exclaimed, boldness cascading through her. As she looked around, anticipation buzzed in the air, but was that enough? In that moment, Jamie knew she was standing at a crossroads, not just in her dance, but in her life as well. Would she take the leap towards a future filled with possibility, or would she allow the shadows to pull her back? Suddenly, the music faded into the background, and she recognized the tension in her heart building again. Was she ready to face her past and own her future? This time, she wouldn't turn away. Just then, a loud crash sounded from the crowd, and Jamie's heart sank. She turned towards the noise, wondering what new challenge might be waiting for her. The crowd gasped collectively, their cheerful atmosphere shattering like glass. Jamie's heart raced, her instincts kicking in as she turned to see what had happened. The crash echoed in her ears, louder than the music that had just filled the air with warmth and joy. At the center of the chaos was a toppled display of colorful balloons that had been tethered elegantly along the stage. A group of kids, laughing in what seemed to be friendly play, had accidentally toppled it, creating a wave of colorful chaos. Jamie's breath caught as she noticed Lucy moving toward the scene, her little feet padding softly on the grass. "Lucy, wait!" Jamie called out, panic spilling into her voice. She dashed toward her daughter, pushing through the crowd that had formed, a mix of concern etched on their faces. The innocent excitement that had filled that space moments ago felt fragile now, as if it could break apart any second like those balloons. Lucy, ever curious, was kneeling by the mess, giggling as she picked up a deflated balloon. "Look, Mommy. It's funny." But behind that laughter, Jamie could sense something else, an undercurrent of uncertainty. Jamie's chest tightened as she reached her daughter. "Honey, let us step back a bit," she said softly, gently placing her hands on Lucy's shoulders, feeling the warmth of her little body beneath her touch. "It's okay, let us just watch from here." Noah and Clara were behind them now, assessing the situation. Clara stifled a giggle with her hand, but Jamie couldn't join in. The laughter felt too sharp in that moment, a cruel reminder of the tension simmering just below the surface of her cheerful facade. "Maybe they need some help," Lucy suggested earnestly, her eyes bright with the desire to make things better. Jamie smiled at her daughter's enthusiasm, struggling to keep her own emotions in check. "It's south, not our place, sweetie," Jamie replied, forcing the brightness back into her voice. She could feel Noah's gaze watching her closely, assessing not just the scene, but her reaction as well. "Let us go grab some snacks instead," Noah said, breaking the silence and drawing Clara away, leaving Jamie to navigate the sudden swell of emotions. The decision felt simple, yet it stirred Jamie's heart. Was it that easy to move on while others picked up the pieces? As she stood there, watching the familiar camaraderie between them, a sharp pang of doubt twisted in her stomach. Was she really willing to step into the light, or would she retreat back into the shadows of her insecurities? "What if I just dance?" Lucy suggested, looking up at her mom, her eyes shimmering with childlike inspiration. "I can make everyone smile." Jamie felt a flood of warmth wash over her. That innocent belief lit a fire inside her, and for the first time, she took a deep breath, letting the remnants of her fears begin to fade. Maybe it wasn't just about overcoming insecurities, but about embracing who she was, flaws and all. "Okay, why not?" Jamie replied, her voice gaining strength. "Let us show them how to have fun, despite everything." With the determination of 1,000 tiny stars, Jamie stepped closer to the crowd, pulling Lucy into her arms. Together, they faced the scattered balloons and the remnants of whirling laughter, ready to transform the moment just as they had done only moments before. But as they began to twirl and sway, bringing the joy back into the atmosphere, Jamie couldn't shake off the lingering fear. Could this moment be more than just a distraction? Would embracing this joyful connection lead her to a future she had only dared dream of, one filled with moments where insecurity no longer ruled her? With her heart pounding, she welcomed the uncertainty, feeling just on the edge of transformation. And the music? It pulsed back to life, a sweet melody promising not just change, but hope. Just then, a voice called out from the back, "Hey! Is that a new routine you're working on? Because it looks amazing." The warmth of the compliment enveloped her, but so did the nagging question who would stand by her when the music stopped. As the upbeat music swelled, Jamie felt an unexpected surge of confidence wash over her. She stretched out her arms, twirling in sync with Lucy, who danced freely beside her. The laughter around them began to bubble up again, replacing the tension that had hung in the air just moments before. "Look, Mommy. They're smiling," Lucy squealed, pointing to a couple of children who had paused their games to watch. Jamie's heart fluttered at the sight, the innocence in her daughter's voice pulling her deeper into the moment. Maybe this was what it meant to step into the light, to let the joy spill out and touch those around her. Jamie glanced toward the crowd, catching sight of Noah and Clara, who had stopped in their tracks. Clara's eyes widened, clearly surprised to see Jamie lifting her daughter into the air and swirling her like she was a feather caught in a gentle breeze. Noah's face softened, a mix of admiration and confusion weaving across his features. As they spun, Jamie felt the weight of her insecurities begin to lift like fog in the morning sun. What if this was the moment she had been waiting for? A flicker of realization ignited within her. She didn't need to hide away. "All right, Lucy. Let us show them our moves," Jamie shouted, adrenaline flooding her veins. She led her daughter into a short routine, a silly choreography that mixed her best dance moves with Lucy's wild, carefree spirit. The crowd clapped in rhythm, and with each joyous beat, Jamie felt a bit more free. Laughter rippled through the spectators, their smiles infectious. Encouraged by their delight, Lucy began adding spins and jumps, her giggles echoing in the air. Jamie joined in, allowing herself to let go of self-doubt, focusing instead on the pure joy radiating from her daughter. "Here comes the finale," Jamie announced with exaggerated enthusiasm, her voice ringing bright. She swept Lucy into a dramatic leap, landing softly on the grass as the children rushed toward them, eager to join the impromptu performance. The world around them pulsed with energy, vibrant and alive. Jamie's heart thrummed a steady beat, weaving together moments of joy, connection, and a newfound sense of belonging. With a burst of laughter, she realized how beautiful it felt to be part of the tapestry of togetherness. After what felt like a whirlwind of colorful movement, Jamie and Lucy collapsed into a fit of giggles on the grass, breathless but glowing. The crowd cheered, not just for their mini-show but for the spirit they had ignited, and perhaps for the reminder that joy could be found even in the aftermath of chaos. "Mommy, that was the best. Can we do it again?" Lucy beamed, her cheeks flushed with excitement. Jamie's heart melted. This was more than just a moment of distraction, it was a breakthrough. "Of course, sweetie. Anytime you want to dance, just let me know," Jamie replied, wrapping her arms around her daughter. But just as she reveled in this fresh connection, a shadow flickered at the fringes of her happiness. Would this fleeting happiness survive the challenges that awaited them? "Jamie, you were incredible." Clara's voice broke through her thoughts as she approached, eyes bright with admiration. "Seriously, that was amazing. You should teach us some moves." As Clara walked away to regroup with Noah, Jamie felt a spark of fear creep back in. What if she faltered when the spotlight shifted? Would the fragility of this joy shatter if she was judged too harshly? She watched Clara share excited words with Noah and caught glimpses of their laughter. Out of the crowd, someone shouted, "Can we join? We want to dance too." That was the moment. Jamie could feel the tug of uncertainty, but mixed with it was an undeniable pull toward connection. Could she truly step forward and embrace this, or would she shy away again at the critical moment? With the music still playing in her heart, she took a deep breath. The choice was hers to make, and as the pulsating melody beckoned her back into the spotlight, Jamie felt her heart racing with excitement and dread. "Maybe this time, I won't let it go," she whispered to herself, the echoes of newfound courage swirling around her. What would she choose to do next? In that electrifying moment, Jamie felt the world fall away, leaving only the rhythm of her heart and the joyful sounds of laughter around her. With Lucy by her side, she took a deep breath, the air thick with hope and possibility. The newly formed community around them seemed to call her forth, a growing support that reminded her she was no longer alone. "Ready?" she asked Lucy, her voice steady and confident. Yes, Mommy. Let us dance. Lucy squealed, clapping her tiny hands in excitement. With that, Jamie stepped forward, drawing the attention of the crowd that had once felt so judgmental. She didn't just want to reclaim her place, she wanted to embrace it, to fill it with the spirit she had found in her journey. Her dance began once more, a fusion of fun and freedom. As she moved, she could feel the lingering tension from Ethan's presence melt away. He was just one part of her past, a shadow that would fade into the background as she danced into the light. The rhythm of the music surged through her, a melody encapsulating her struggles, her triumphs, and the deep bond she shared with her daughter. As they twirled and laughed, other families began to join them, moving together in their own unfiltered joy, all dancing in an eclectic mix of styles. Jamie watched as children of all ages laughed, kicked off shoes, and joined their impromptu dance party. Even Noah and Clara jumped into the fray, their worries forgotten as they surrendered to the uplifting spirit of the evening. Look at us, Mommy. Lucy beamed, her eyes sparkling with delight as she twirled and leaped joyfully. We're like a big parade. Yes. A parade of happiness. Jamie replied with a radiant smile, feeling the emotion swell within her. In that moment, she finally understood what it meant to be free. Every judgment, every echo of doubt from her past blurred away, replaced by acceptance and love. She was more than just a divorced mother struggling with insecurities. She was a leader, an inspiration, and now, she could give others what they needed most, assurance that they were not alone. In the bright floodlights of the community center, Jamie saw the dancing shapes of families moving together, learning, growing, surviving. As laughter rang out and bright lights bounced off smiles, she realized that this felt like home. For the first time in a long while, she felt proud to be part of something bigger than herself. Then came the moment she spotted Ethan standing at the edge of the celebration, arms crossed but a curious smile on his face. For a brief second, her heart raced with fear, but this time, it was different. The shadows of doubt she had held on to flickered and dimmed. The realization washed over her, he was just a passerby in her unfolding journey. With newfound clarity, she extended her hand toward him, her heart pounding. Come dance with us, Ethan. Her voice rang clear, warm and inviting. He hesitated for just a moment, surprise painted across his features, and then stepped forward, joining in. I don't know if I can keep up, he admitted with a shy smile, but laughter bubbled up inside Jamie. You'd be surprised how easy it is, she said, moving beside him. Together, they swayed to the music, the unfiltered joy of the moment washing over them all. In that fleeting exchange of courage, Jamie felt a piece of her lift. She wasn't defined by what had happened before but by what she chose to do in each new moment. As the dance continued, Jamie glimpsed Lucy dancing with a group of other kids, their giggles soaring high above the music. The sight captured her heart, and in that instant, everything clicked into place. Through the effort of facing her fears, she had created a safe space for Lucy to thrive, to believe in the beauty of connection. Amidst the beautiful chaos, Clara and Noah moved closer, sharing knowing glances and carefree laughter. With every twirl, Jamie felt the weight of judgment lift, replaced by threads of camaraderie and shared experience. See? Clara called out over the music, laughter laced with admiration. You've brought everyone together. That's the magic of vulnerability. Jamie yelled back, raising her arms wide and spinning, allowing herself to bask in the energy of the crowd. This was what it meant to connect, to belong, to be more than her past mistakes. As the night deepened, the music slowed, winding to a final crescendo that filled the room with warmth. Families collapsed into one another, laughter mingling with relieved sighs. Jamie pulled Lucy close, watching the world transform in front of her, the begrudging acceptance of the past giving way to the exhilarating promise of the future. And just like that, Jamie realized she had landed where she was always meant to be. She was a part of this community, of this dance, of this celebration of life and love, and by letting go of fear, she had created space for everyone to come together. Mom, that was so much fun. Lucy chirped, her blue eyes sparkling with promise. More than fun, sweetheart, Jamie replied, ruffling Lucy's hair as they broke apart from the crowd. This was the start of something incredible. In that moment, with Lucy by her side and everyone's laughter ringing in her ears, Jamie's heart swelled with gratitude. She had discovered her strength, transformed her life, and in doing so, paved a way for others to find their light too. As the air filled with the promise of new beginnings, Jamie's journey felt far from over. It was just the beginning of everything she had ever wanted. Today, she had ignited hope, warmth, acceptance, and connection within her heart, daring to embrace the bright possibilities of tomorrow, and she was absolutely ready to dance through it all. Now, you need to subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories that can transform your life. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help us reach more hearts. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this incredible ending. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this uplifting transformation. Your support means everything. Thank you.